Go on and do it. I give myself a thumbs up. Give myself a thumbs up. So it's going to be a slight lag, which is okay. All right. Everyone, how are you? How are you? So today, I'm pretty much going to talk about Simply Beautiful by Al Green. That's the song that I'm covering today. Let me add this. Let me pin this comment. What's up, Anthony? I'm about to fulfill one of your. Well, I don't think you did. You ask for Simply Beautiful, or was that somebody else? I'm gonna just put this link inside of the description real fast, and then I'll actually get started. I will actually get started. Come on. And it's actually relatively simple. And, once you get it, it's relatively simple. So I'll just put this in here. Goodness, it still didn't do it. Come on, link. How's everyone's day? I hope everyone's day is going pretty well. Remember, y'all, we're actually losing an hour tonight, so make sure that you know. Yeah, you did ask for Darius Rucker, but somebody asked for Simply Beautiful. I forget who it was. I'm wondering, is that clickable? Yeah, it is. Yep. And on the form, you asked for the joint by Chet Atkins. I saw that too. But yet, a lot of requests have been coming my way. That's why I'm kind of like, did you ask for this? But all right, I'm about to get started. Got it. Cool. I appreciate you joining for sure. I see one other person join too. So yeah, I'm about to get started. And also notice that I have you know what I'm saying? I got this beat going. I'm not gonna have it going the whole time. But that's pretty much the whole like backing track of Simply Beautiful, which was wild until like toward the end of the song. So the song is actually in the key of, what's that, D minor? Yeah. Yeah, D minor 7th. However you want to do it. It's a very bluesy song, so anyone who wants to perform it or TV test pattern was good. I wish I knew your real name. But what's good? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Happy Saturday. But yeah, so the main chord is, or the starting chord from the top is D minor 7th. Okay. Now that is located, I know I normally share charts, but lately I've been not doing it because I've just been doing a lot of editing, a lot of video editing, and I get kind of fatigued from it. So I share it when it's most important. I'll say that. And let me move up because I get it gets a little interesting. But for those of you who like podcasts, I manage a YouTube channel of an entrepreneurship podcast called The Social Proof Social Proof Podcast. David Shands is the host, but I manage the actual channel. So feel free to check that out whenever y'all get a chance. But it's basically an entrepreneurship podcast. And they talk about, this is his podcast. I helped to manage some stuff for him. Anyhow, on to the song. And on the replay, I'll this beginning part, I'll just cut that off. But anyway, D. This is D on the key, on the string, on the A string. We're right here on this 5th fret. This is D. Okay. From here, we're going to play that D minor. Okay. So D minor is played like this. Now, the way the actual finger placement is, you're going to bar on the 5th fret. Okay, so just have that part locked in. You're going to bar the whole 5th fret. Don't worry about this low string. Don't worry about that part. Your middle finger right here is going to be 6th fret on the B string, which is the 2nd string up. So you're barring, and then middle finger on the 6th fret. This finger's on the 5th. And you're going to take this ring finger and you're going to put that on the 7th fret on the D string. That's the 4th string up. That's all you're going to play. All right. Playing a minor 7th chord is actually a little bit simpler than a regular minor chord. So, and with this particular placement, you could actually color it up by lifting it and placing it, lifting it, placing it. And you can strum in between that like this. As long as you land on those frets, it'll actually sound pretty good. Okay. So we got that locked in, right? 5th fret. Okay. Barring. Middle finger, 6th fret, B string. Ring finger, 7th fret, D string. We got that part. Next, you're still going to bar that 5th fret. Now we're going to play an A dominant 7th, or dominant 7 rather. Dominant 7, the technical name is dominant 7, or an A7. It's the same thing. You're actually going to kind of do the same I think that's kind of a joke, but yeah, I'll receive it. Thank you for that. I'll keep it going. I'm taking feedback. Whatever tweaks I need to make, I'm open, because I really like doing this. It's very important to me that people like it, for me to feel motivated. But I appreciate you sharing that. So thank you. So now, the A7, the actual shape is not that much different. It is different, but it's not that much different from the D minor 7. Okay? That's the D minor 7. So now you're going to actually, let me do this real quick so that you can see it. You're not going to, my daughter's over here, so let me, all right. Cool. So here's my hand. So you saw a little bit farther away. So now, see how I'm moving my fingers up right here? I'm moving it from here to here. Yeah, I figured, and that's how I took it. So yeah, I appreciate that. That was how I took it. Yeah, thank you. That's going to Carter. Thank you so much. So yeah, see this movement? It's a very simple movement. All right. Now what I'm moving it to is my middle finger. I'm still barring the 5th fret. So that part is not changing. Okay. And sidebar. One really important part of my guitar learning journey is really strengthening this part of my hand. All right. this is one of the parts that gets the most fatigue when people are playing guitar. They're just like, man, I can't play those bar chords for too long. Well, this is the part right here that I've had to work. And you can do the squeeze thing. Actually, I keep this. Now, this is not what I used, at the very start. But if you do this, and actually do reps with it, I might do a video on how to do some reps. It'll actually strengthen that part. And obviously, we got this thing called muscle memory. So, but nothing beats actually playing a song from start to finish. Like putting a song on and playing it from start to finish. Nothing beats that, okay? So that's like the real time work that you put in. So back to the 5th fret. So middle finger is still on the 5th fret, but it's on the G string now. And the ring finger is actually on the A string. And this is still here. And this is how the A7 will sound. So when we play it in context, so this is like a really like a bluesy type thing, which is what Al Green was like. I mean, he was like blues, soul. I mean, blues is already like soul music, to be honest with you. I'm gonna lighten this up a little bit. I look a little dark. Blues is already soul music, but he had his little, his twang, I guess you can call it. Okay. So, which was just unmatched, period. So yeah, in context, we're gonna play it with the drums because that's how I like to do it. Play it with the drums. Let me share my screen. I hope it don't mess up. Don't use. Here we go. All right. In context, here it is. That was out of time. Y'all know that part? All right. So, yeah, that's that part. So at least we're this far now, okay? Personal swagger. I'll take it. So yeah, when he did that, that was just like his thing. And it seemed like it took like 3 seconds for him to even get the note. He would bend up to the note like, people loved it. I love it too. I ain't mad at it. So anyway, that's where we are so far. All right. So again, in context. I'm gonna show you that part. Then we're going. All right, so that chord is a G major. And for those of you who don't know the difference between a major chord and okay, so back to this A7 is really like an A major. So I'm just lifting my pinky. Now, I think that it's important that I explain why it's an A7 though. Because I'm gonna be honest, I really don't. I kind of take this personally, just a little bit. But here's why. I think as we're learning guitar, we get excited about shapes. And it's very important that we know what we're playing. And I'm all about showing shapes, but I want you to know why it's the shape that it is, if you don't mind. And some people just want to click off, but I'm here to show you why that's the shape. And, so if y'all click off, cool, you can watch the replay and you can see why that's the shape. So it's not enough to just go around and playing shapes, because you'll mess around and get in a band situation and get embarrassed. All right. You don't want that to happen. You want to know why that's the shape. So here's why. Playing the A, if I were to play a major scale in that A position, and I'm playing this A major scale in a very simplified pattern right here, starting from the A on the E string, whole step, which is 2 frets away, going to the 7th fret, another two frets away, which is a whole step, going to the 9th fret. So, okay, you do the same exact thing on the A string. How simple is that? If you don't have a pick, use your thumb. That's funny. Appreciate it. So, and always pluck the string that you're fretting. Now on that 3rd string, on the D string, you're going to come in 1 fret. Okay, so you come in 1 fret, which is the 6th fret, and then 7th fret. So the full major scale is this. Now don't be confused. I can also play this way. I can play it this way. You can play it wherever, as long as the intervals are correct. It don't matter how you play it. Just if you know how to do the do re mi thing, do re mi fa sol la ti do, and we do that in our minds without even thinking about it. We sing along with the radio, all that stuff. So whether you're doing this and you can repeat it, that was wrong. Okay. Now, that's the scale. Wow. Last Dragon is a classic for sure. Once you know the do re mi fa sol la ti do thing as just a reference point, you ain't even got to know it by heart. Just a lot of this stuff is transferable. We already do it. Okay, so we're very familiar with the major scale. Now, if we just assign a number to the scale, okay, this is a repetition of 7 notes, only 7. And the 7 notes is literally the alphabet between A and G. We know the alphabet. We know that. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But since we're starting from A, it's a different set of notes at that point. But the notes that are in Western music is A through G. You're just starting on a note and ending on a different note, so on and so forth. But today, we're going to start with the A, and the A is going to be the 1. Okay, just think of it as the 1 and count each note consecutively in order. Don't think of it as a note, but we will start on A. And A is going to be the 1, and B is going to be the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1. That's all we need to remember. So I'll stop the explaining part, but just know that all the notes fall on, the shape falls on one of the notes in the scale. If you were to keep counting it up and you make it the correct placement, here's the A, here's the 2. When we're not utilizing the 2 in the scale, but we are utilizing the 3. We're just playing it in a different place. Okay, we're playing it up here. That's actually where our middle finger is, and I just played the octave. So we have it here. So we have that. We play the 5th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's there. We're playing that. All right. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's the 7. Now, a 7 chord is traditionally flattened, okay? So the 7 is right here. So you would flatten that, okay? That's just the rule. You flatten it, okay? And if we go back to where our fingers were for everything else, and that's why it's called the A7. And if you were to count that more, like count it up, here's the 5 again. There's a 1 again. So these numbers fall, that's what creates the shape. Literally, if I were to just take the scale up, and those notes fall on there, okay? And that goes for a 13 chord, for an 11 chord, for a major 7th chord, for a minor 9th chord, for any chord that you do. It depends on the name of it, so on and so forth. Like all the flat 5s and the minor flat 5s. Minor flat 5 is this. Okay, because you're flattening the 5. You know, it's kind of simple. The 13 is because the note falls on the 13. And the 13 means it's going past the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's why it's a 13 chord. So let's continue. So that's why the A7 is an A7. But please know, yeah, because trust me, the charging is going to come. But it's still going to be worth it, though. It's going to be way worth it. Way worth it. Community is very important to me. And I don't want to push lessons so much. I want to push community more than lessons. There are a lot of instructors that are like, if you want to learn this, you got to do this and act now. Listen, people learn more when they have a community and you have a guitar player next to you and you're like, oh, let me see what you're doing. You learn faster that way. And that's my angle. You know what I'm saying? The dollar is one thing, but to have a community of people who trust you and they're relaxed, and I think that's just a much better approach. Okay. So, if the charging would be more so to be a part of the community, and the lessons just kind of come with being in the community. And all you need to get in the community is a guitar. You may not even know how to play it. That's my angle. So once my website is finished and ready for that, then I'll initiate that. But for now, I don't want to wait on that. So yeah. So no, if you're playing the root note from the E string, the shape is always going to be this shape, no matter where you are. It don't matter where you are. This is a E major, F major, F sharp major, G major, G sharp, A flat, A sharp, B, C, so on and so forth. So we're here. Ba-doom, doom, ba-boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, doom, ba-doom, doom. This is the G major. I ain't got to show y'all what that is, right? So we're barring at the 3rd fret, and we're gonna play that major shape. Okay. And if you know this much of what I'm showing you, everything else is gonna be kind of easy. All right. So that last little riff, y'all gonna be like, oh, that's all. That's what was happening. Yeah, that's all that was happening. And the funny thing is that this loops. It loops the rest of the song. That's the real funny part about it. I have problems writing songs, structure I. Right in the key of E, then needs to go somewhere, but then I get stuck. Oh yeah, I got you. Trust me, I got you. I got you. I got some tools for you. Okay. Right now, I'm talking about this. But if you keep coming on or reach out to me on IG, Kashif Music, I think my email is in there. If you look at my bio info thing, and I have at the top of this chat, I have it pinned. I actually have a link pinned. You can fill that out. Did I pin it? I ain't pinned it. Can I pin it on here? I can start, I guess. I don't know. I figured out. But you can go to that link and you could actually fill out. It'll just help me, and you can play a lick in A flat. I'm gonna stick to what I'm doing right now. But A flat. If you talking about A flat minor, I guess that's a lick. That's A flat. I guess that's a lick. All right, so back to the song, because we're in the song that we're in, and the first note is that D minor. I guess technically it's an A. One of those. I know that's the notes. Oh, I'm in Atlanta. Yep, I'm in Atlanta. Atlanta Metro. You know, none of us stay in the city of Atlanta. Not all of us, at least. So I'm not in the city of Atlanta, but I'm like right outside of Atlanta. Because some people are in College Park. Some people are in East Point. Some people are in Douglasville or Covington or Sandy Springs. You know, so I'm in the metro area of Atlanta. But yeah, that's where I am. All right. Deluxe Dom, that's what is your name, Dominique? That's my wife's name. But anyway, so this is G major. Now, this is the part, don't get lost on this part, okay? You can do this two ways. Now you're gonna play this from the A, from the A being the root. Okay, so for those of you who are familiar with the caged system, and you know where your A major is, Dominique, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Yeah, Dom, you can reach out to me, whether it's, I thank you so much. You can reach out to me. Well, all of you can reach out to me on IG, Kashif Music, Pennsylvania, Philly, where at. But yeah, this is A major. All right, so A major. That shape, the A being the A string right here, okay? If you maintain that shape and go up one fret, all of these are major chords. So on and so forth. So you're going to play that A shape, but you're going to play it from the third fret. All right? All right. But we're not playing a major chord. We're playing, in this case, a C7. So we're not going to play the 7 up here. I'm going to show you that because you can use that by playing the, like you did the A7 and do that. In fact, let me do that first. Let me show you that way first, because that might make more sense. It may make more sense to do that. Got it. Yeah. A lot of my closest friends are in Philly, or from Philly, actually. In college, that's where I met them all. I went to college at Florida A&M University, and we all met there. But a lot of them moved to Cali. Some came to Atlanta, so. All right, so we got those 3 chords down. And I'm gonna be real short because I gotta get ready for church in the morning. I'm a church musician too. So yeah, we got this part, D minor 7th, A7, D minor 7, A7, then G major. Now keep this A7 in mind, and what I want you to do is go up 3 frets and go up to C. And right now we're barring the 8th fret, but we're keeping the same exact shape. We're keeping that same shape that we're doing in A7. Okay? Don't deviate 1 bit. And you're going to slide up 3 frets, not 2, and you're going to C. This is C right here. Now there's also a C right here too. Okay? I appreciate that, Dom. I appreciate that. Did you subscribe to on here? Got it. Hey, I'm here for you. I've been playing at my church for years. I volunteered for like 3 years prior to them bringing me on as a contractor. And so I have a handful of videos on my YouTube channel that's kind of showing some of the stuff that I've played, you know. But yeah, this is a C and this is a C as well. Here's a C too. Here's a C. They're all over the place. So yeah, A7, then you're gonna slide up to this right here, and then some of y'all gonna be like, oh, that's what happened. So you're gonna keep this shape and you're gonna chromatically walk down 3 frets back to the A7. Okay, you're gonna just do it chromatically. Now chromatically just means 1 fret at a time, like right next to each other. You're not gonna deviate the shape. Like some of y'all like, oh, for real? Yep. So guess what? Guess what we're about to do? We are, let me tell y'all this now. Now, Anthony knows this by now. Anthony knows this by now. I utilize recording as a teaching tool and a way to measure progress. I learned when I was 21, I bought my first guitar. And this was what helped me to stay accountable, was to record it, because I could play it back and I could say, oh, I got this wrong. And then I could correct things. Okay, so that's like that's my selling point, you know, not just to sell you something, but that's the thing that a lot of people say, man, I get stuck. You know, if you're just sitting here by yourself, it's hard to just by yourself be accountable to yourself. That's possible. But one way is to put it on wax, so to speak, or record it and play it back. And it's almost like you got a electronic way of, you know, keeping yourself accountable. So let me do this real quick and come back. And we're going to just do this real quick, and then I'm going to play it. All right. And I'm going to play it in full context so that you can just hear how it sounds. That's back to G, then back to A7. That's the whole song. I'm telling you. So let me do this. I'm going to copy paste, because I think maybe it's like 4 bars. I'm in Logic right now, y'all. I'm in Logic. So I think that I could do this, and I should, sorry about that. I should have, let me make sure I don't know if I'll have my inputs. I don't. So let me change. I gotta change audio interfaces so it'll do it right. I am changing audio interfaces because I need the right amount of inputs. There we go. 11 and 12. We should be good. There we go. And hopefully this will work. All right, let me go back. Input. There we go. Come on, man. Do right. Do right. There we go. 11, 12. Boom. All right. I got my count off set and I think I'm good. So So we got that much, and I am going to, let me come back up because again, I've been playing for over 20 years, and this is just what I do as far as measuring my progress. Play it back. It's a little delayed, so I'm gonna go in to bring it on time because I think my buffer or my latency is a little delayed real quick. So let me see how it sounds. Got to move on to the actual melody part. I'm not gonna do too much explaining this. I'm gonna just kind of talk around it, I guess. So here are the scales. I might put some overdrive on. Pretty much hovered around there. Notes wise, he didn't exhibit much range. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do as far as like going up a whole. I mean, well, when he did the he thing, the falsetto part, he did that. But as far as the main notes, what are the words? He just kind of bent it with his voice, and he kind of stayed around there. And that's sort of the magic of blues, is you don't have to, you can choose about 2 or 3 notes and stay around there. All right. Yeah, just keep that in mind. All right, keep that in mind as far as, you know, blues, anything bluesy, churchy, even though a little bit more is happening with church stuff, because with church they'll be to mess around and doing all the walk downs and stuff like that. But the notes that I was playing is pretty much hovering around that fifth fret. It's like the pentatonic going from that fifth fret. On the E and the high E and B string, let me go a little closer right here. Okay. All right. Pentatonic scale. Many of you are recording. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, now, I really like, I just recently shared something on like Tony. So I listened to that. George Benson, I listened to. And there's this really awesome guitar player. His name is Greg Howe. I don't hear a lot of people talking about him. He's like a fusion player. And but he plays like a lot of the, let me turn that down. But he'll do the, he does like all of the lead stuff, and I kind of get that from him. But he's played for like Michael Jackson. He does some awesome stuff. So check him out. Greg Howe. Dude is crazy. Like what I just played is like a crumb. He does finger tapping and all this other stuff, and is very effortless with it. So I try to act like, it's not a fraction, trust me. But Little Wing, hey, I take it. I'm like, yo, let me carry up cases, man. But the pentatonic scale, I feel like it's underrated but overrated at the same time. Because if you know what to do with it, it can be very powerful. But if all you know is you're just doing that, it's like there's no it's like, yeah, Greg Howe's amazing. I mean, like some of the he was called for one of the Michael Jackson tours that he was doing, and he was given the music like the night before and learned all of it, and didn't miss a beat when he showed up for the show, because somebody couldn't show up or something like that. He didn't. It was wild, very wild. He had like the wild feathers back, like the wig looking thing, but you couldn't tell who he was because they was blowing the fan and had the shadows going. It was him. But yeah, in terms of speaking, it's one thing to know words, but it's a different thing to use inflection and tone. It's two different things. Because I can say to you, how are you doing? I hope you are doing well today, versus, and that's like the thing with AI they got right now. I mean, AI is cool, but it ain't caught up because it's mimicking being human. Versus, hey, how are you today? Ah, man, wow, it's good to see you. So, pentatonic, hey, how are you doing? Versus, hey, how are you doing? That's that. People like to hear that. They like to hear meaning and what are you trying to say with that pentatonic. But the pentatonic itself is very powerful. It's just what you do with it. Like, don't, make it a little more savory. You know what I'm saying? Bend into your notes. If you're gonna do this, well, maybe you should go. You know what I'm saying? Or you should, where it's appropriate, all that stuff. So yeah, but the pentatonic is being used from that fifth fret, and the on the B and E string. You straight back? Okay. The B and E string are the notes are on the fifth fret and on the eighth fret. So fifth, eighth. On the B string, same thing. Fifth, eighth. On the G string, fifth, seventh, on the D string, 5th, 7th, on the A string, 5th, 7th, and on the low E string, 5th, 8th. Now, if you spread it across the whole neck, you can. So they're only 5 notes, but they repeat. Cover Me by Who? So yeah, that's pretty much the whole song. I might go into it in depth. I mean, I kind of did go into depth, to be honest with you. But yeah, Cover Me by Who? So, but yeah, that's the whole song. But yeah, Anthony, I'm working on I forget what I played yesterday. I know I posted it. That's that Dwayne Wiggins from Tony. Or maybe Jubu played it. Yeah, maybe Jubu played it. Jubu Smith. I think he played the intro, but Dwayne Wiggins, he sang the lead on that song. I still don't know what you're talking about. Percy? Maybe that was a typo. But yeah, so, but on that song, Whatever You Want, doing a tutorial, something that's a little more interactive on that tutorial, something that's a little more cool, not just, hey, put your finger here and play this, and Wrap Me in Your Arms by Wrap Me in Your Arms, Wrap Me in Your Arms, Wrap Me in Your Arms. That song? Da-da-da. Percy Sledge. I need to check it out because I probably have. Let me, because I listen to a lot of stuff, and I don't be looking at who it is all the time. And I write stuff down sometimes still with a pencil. Sometimes. Oh. Okay. William McDowell. I think I have heard that because we play him at church. No problem. Feel free to reach out, Carter Bain. Thank you so much. Feel free to reach out on IG or subscribe if you feel like it, or follow me on IG or whatever. However you feel, and reach out if you got questions. Okay, I appreciate you. I'm pretty sure that I have, because I listen to a lot of solos. Dom. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. Like, yeah, like you're asking me this, like I'm gonna go and listen to it. Like the stuff y'all telling me, I'm gonna go listen to it for sure. Cause when we play, they be like, all right, Kashif, solo. I'm like, oh goodness, I forgot to hit my distortion. Sometimes it's last minute and they just, but yeah, I'm gonna check it out. And if you have any questions, you're not bothering me. You're not like, I'll tell you, like, I ain't got time. But you're really not bothering me because a lot of stuff that I figured out on my own, I wish somebody showed me. A lot of musicians are selfish, by the way. Especially like the ones who've been playing for a long time. The young ones, shoot, some of these keyboard players who be like, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh yeah, man, let me show you. I'd be like, cool. Hey, you're not a guitar player, but I'll take your piano licks. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. A couple of real cool keyboard players who are just unselfish. I'm able to like sit next to them, the meaning of life. That's a serious question. I'll say this. This is what comes to this is what comes to mind as you like ask that. And this is the first thing that I can really say to you, because I don't know what you believe in. And you did ask me. I'm almost there. To be honest with you, I don't have enough. That's the next step. I don't have enough watch time hours. Believe it or not, I don't have. I'm like 100. I'm like 100 away. I'm like 100 watch time hours away. I'm about 100 watch time hours away from being able to set up a super chat and membership and all that stuff. But the meaning of life is relationship with the one who designed you, who I believe is God. Okay? The thing is, everybody comes to this point in life where they're faced with no longer being on this earth. And they finally get it. They finally understand all of a sudden what the reason is. I don't walk around. The meaning of life is to live, but you cannot live without God. I can promise you that. And we all can put our own definition on that. And I can say it, and somebody else can hear it and say, man, what you talking about? But you know what? I'll add to it. My daughter is right here with me. And I'll say this, if you don't mind listening. If someone at her school saw me walking up with her or not with her, and they just saw me look at them, like one of the students saw me look at them, and let's just say, man, your dad gave me this mean look, but all I did was look at him. All I did was just, I did this and looked away. And that person said, yeah, your dad gave me this mean look, when all I did was look at him. One student can say, my dad gave me this mean look. My daughter can say, that's not who my dad is. But she knows it because she spent time with me. She knows what the look means. But people who don't spend time with me don't know who I am, and they don't know what the look means. So when we get to know God, when we get to know him, I do believe in Christ. And Christ, I believe, was God's expressed work on this earth. He had to do it through a human being. Okay? And that's who Christ is. That's the meaning of life. Christ came to demonstrate life and demonstrate it for us. So when we spend time with God, we get to understand the nuances and we understand the difference. The last thing I'll say, okay, that's not, you're not disrespecting anybody. You asked the question. So I'm answering it the best way that I can. I do want to make one other point that has nothing to do with what I just mentioned. And I want to just raise this part. The Bible has nothing to do with religion. There's religion in the Bible, but it's not a book of religion. So let me go to this next point. If you buy a dresser and try to put it together without a manual, if you've never put together the dresser before, like other ones, you might mess up. But the manual just helps you, put it together right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the Bible is to me. And if we neglect it, and if we understand it wrong, we'll totally miss the point. Totally. And no matter who you are, everybody comes to a place where they finally get it. And it takes longer for some people. But yeah, you atheist, bro. You asked me, you know what I'm saying? But that's not disrespect. So don't think that I take that as disrespect, because Carter Bain, your existence is meaningful, okay? And that's not anything that I gave to you. So your existence is meaningful. It is useful, and we're all here for a purpose, but we all don't find that out at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I listen. When I say I don't take that as disrespect, like I take this as a moment that I believe I'll look back at it and you'll look back at it and you'll be like, you know what? In that moment, I needed that, as well as me needing it. You know what I'm saying? And we're all on a journey, Anthony. Correct. We're on a journey, meaning one step here. In order to get to another place, you got to take a step, and so on and so forth. And we're all on different journeys. We're not on the same journey. So it's just not. It don't work that way. So, yeah, yep, most definitely, most definitely. And I don't believe in all preachers. You know what I'm saying? All preachers, I don't. So, you know, I I use a baseline, I use a reference, and I measure it. Like what this person is saying. I'm like, okay, you can be over there. Um, yes, educate over debating. Because yeah, and we can get into it later, but it's like I wish I could spill it. I wish I could just spill it all over people. Like I'll just say there's a difference when you spend time with God and you know what that is. It's different than how the world presents God. It's two different things, and it's way more relationship. And I'll be honest and say this: the way that I believed in God when I was a child, and you just have family members kind of saying stuff, is different than how I believe now. And I would say this to everybody, and whether you're atheist or whatever. Now this is up to you. This is no pressure. But people don't ask, and they don't think about this. They don't think to ask, Lord, show me who you are. Whoever you are, show me who that is in the way that you speak to me, and let it work. He's waiting on you to ask that question. You know what I'm saying? And just know that every God, quote unquote, or no God, whatever, has not even made the same claims. Only one God has even made the claim. So if that ain't a hint for you, I don't know what else to tell you. But either way, God is going to nudge you on the shoulder. It don't matter what you believe. And that's his way of saying, hey, why don't you invite me in? And he's not going to pressure you at all. Once you let him in, you'll see the difference. So, but yeah, that is what I believe the meaning of life is. And I got to a point to where I felt like things weren't working. And I felt like what I was believing was not it, even though I felt like I believed in Christ and whatever, but something wasn't hitting. I got to a place, and I asked him, I'm like, yo, if you're real, show me who you are. And he did. And everybody who asked that same question, I'm not saying the same thing is going to happen with you, but you will get an answer. Whether you're an atheist, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Buddhist, no disrespect. If you ask that question, I promise you, if you ask that question, and some people are listening to me right now, and they're not going to ask the question because they're scared of the answer. But if you ask the question, Lord, show me who you are, you're going to get an answer. And it's not going to require a Bible. Keep that in mind. Trust me. Yeah, it's just like fish. Fish were created out of the water. They have to live in the water in order to even live. That's where they abide. They need the water. We are created to live in a certain place, in a certain environment. And that's actually with God, because we were created from him. And if we don't acknowledge that and actually, live in that, just ask, and you'll see the difference. And the last thing I'll say, because I know I keep going, the last thing I'll say is, a person who lives in a space, and if that's all they know and they have nothing to compare it to, it's like you'll never know the difference. So, but when you do experience him, it's like, oh man, what was I? Where was I then? So that's life. God is love. I promise you. Oh my goodness. And he loves, oh, it's like he loves you. He loves you so much, and he wants to extend it. He wants to extend his love through you to other people. But that person has to be willing. And if that person is not willing, he will not pressure you. That's one thing he will not do. Okay. You lost your leg playing on a train when you were 9. That was in 1988. I thank God for saving my life. He was my best friend. I thanked him for saving my life. But over the years, listen. The scientific thinker is useful. Please. And the thing is, I don't want to speak in a way in a way that you're not going to receive. But the scientific thinker, science would not exist without God. And I don't want to go there, but every type of thinker, okay, the basis, the foundation of it is all useful. The scientific thinker, the questioner, okay, the person who questions, that is useful. Okay, God gave you that. Yes, yeah. I think we have to think the fact that our heart beats without us thinking about it while we're asleep, and we're unconscious asleep. We have to kind of just go there. It's simple, but it's like you're here. God does not let anything go unused. That's just, he's not that way. God is a useful God. And that incident that happened with your leg on a train, he can use what happened for other people who lost their leg other ways. I encourage you to ask him to show you who he is. The atheist part, don't even worry about that. Don't because this is a personal relationship. Call yourself whatever you want to call. I'm saying this out of love. And I'm saying this because what I do not want to happen is for all of us to be 90 years old and we wish that somebody would have told us something when we were 40 or 30. Okay? 6 year old and 7 months. Wow, 7 months. Wow, all boys. That's awesome. Yeah, all of that stuff can be used. You being a scientific thinker is useful and necessary. I would like to think that I'm a scientific thinker too. I would like to think. I look at DNA as a communication, a system of communication that was created for our existence too, our human existence. But it's a communication system, Yeah, of course. But listen, y'all, I mentioned it. It was daylight savings is hitting this, 2 a.m. It's gonna hit, so we're losing an hour. So I know I got to be to church at 7 a.m. Nice to meet you too, and I hope you come back on, and if you're ever in town, we're pretty close in age, so we can definitely just link up or just chat, whatever, through IG. If you got IG, that's cool too, for sure, man. But everybody, listen, I think this is the most people I've had on here. Wow. Thank you. Yes. What you doing learning the songs for tomorrow? Now. You should have. What are you doing? You had all week to learn those songs. Dom, oh my goodness. Dom, where are you? Like, what city are you in? But yeah, Dom, Carter, Anthony, just everybody who was participatory in the chat, which is mostly the three that I just spoke to, and one is unknown parts. Yo, like, go to that link and fill out the form that I have in the description of this video, as well as this chat, and maybe I'll pin it in the comments too. And that's for unknown parts. Okay. And there was one other person, TV test pattern. Thank you so much for dropping the emojis. And that page at the very top is called Instrumental Retreat Music. That's actually just another one of my pages. I got like 10 pages, but on that page is like a lot of my instrumentals. I got a 24/7 live stream. So if y'all feel like it, you can subscribe there too. If you want to just go and take a listen, maybe it'll put you in a relaxed mood. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Yeah. Good night. Good night. What you forgot? Oh yeah, you forgot about the daylight savings time. Yeah. Central Cali. Yeah, yo. If you're ever in Atlanta, yo, I'm meeting with people, just having free lessons with them. You know what I'm saying? We're like meeting at the park down the street. Yeah. So yeah, all y'all, I appreciate it. Feel free to reach out. Like I said, DM, IG, or just, I don't have a set time on YouTube yet, but it looks like Saturday around this time is probably a good time. So I will set a regular time, but it looks like today at like 9:30 or maybe 9 o'clock Eastern time might be a good time. Okay. So I'm gonna definitely take note of that and lock it in. But I really appreciate y'all. Carter, yo, let's rap, man. Let's rap. I think you said you're in Kentucky. Yeah, let's rap, man. Like offline, like I said, IG or wherever else. All right. But I love y'all, man. I appreciate it. I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you later. Love you. Peace.